If technology were all that were needed, we should be able to heal our natural environment and establish a heaven on earth. Perhaps all that's needed is a shift of heart in humanity. There are events suggesting that we may be on the verge of a new renaissance.
I think Maitreya's teachings will kind of purify the world on an individual basis and also on an international basis. I think these teachings can kind of be applied to individuals and to nations also. And really, like, it will be the end of corruption, the end of fear, the end of attachment and struggling for having something so much, because I guess it's all about that. Like, people want to possess things, they want to have so much for their own self, like on a national basis and on an individual basis. So it's all that illusion of wanting something and having it. And do we really need those things? And what are the consequences of like you having that in terms of interdependence with everybody and all the rest? So I think it's, yeah, those teachings will really like purify things and make some new relations and something that will be more real and deep. And we will start with that as a new impulse when Maitreya will be in the world physically, but I mean when people will know him and when he will be able to give his messages and his blessing to humanity. So we will start like with this new impulse, and it will transform everything in a new civilization that will be much better than this one that is really dying, and it's really, I don't know, like really gray and nothing really is good about it, but some things, but a lot of things have to die, even in ourselves. I think it's a process that has to be in our own self, everybody, and also on an international, because they're both related, I feel.
That scene of the hunger was the thorn in my heart all the time. What can I do about it? And when I heard about Maitreya's story and his main concern, no one will hunger. Well, I thought that this is the thing that I would be doing. And in those 15 years, although so many people are trying to help those people and famine and everything, but that situation was just aggravating and no one can do better. So when I heard Maitreya's story, I think there is no other way. Whatever you do, all the people are saying one thing or the other, but nothing works really, except Maitreya's, sharing. And through sharing, bringing justice into the world, and that will bring peace. That's it.
When I first heard of the Maitreya story, nothing really touched me deeply. I'm from a scientific background and I was skeptical of things, and I had to think over it. And I thought about, for 4 years, and after investigating the world situation, I came to the realization that Maitreya's mission, his plan, is the only one that could solve all the problems. Sharing the world resources was the key. I'm a teacher, a mathematician, and I try to bring key points of what's wrong with the world into my lesson whenever I can.
In the community organizing work that I do in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I found that since knowing about Maitreya and the Masters, that many of the people that I talk to are concerned about world conditions. They're concerned about social issues, political issues, the environment. And when they understand that we are at a unique point in humanity's history, where we are at the point of the changing of the eras, that new energies are coming in, and that the Masters are here to help, that this is a message of hope for them, because then they have a better understanding of why there is such division in the world right now between those who are holding on to the old ways and those who are open to the new energies that are coming in, the energies of sharing and cooperation, of working in a group, of working together to address the concerns of the world. Problems with the environment, problems with poverty, problems with health, education, and so forth. So when people understand that the masters are here to help, it like changes their understanding from hopelessness and despair to looking forward to the future. And it's all of a sudden like they understand now why they're here and that they have a role to play in bringing about this change in the world.
My understanding of Maitreya's presence in the world is to not to do the work for us, but to help us to learn that we are responsible for changing the world. And that the only way that changes can be made is if man himself lifts himself to the point of making that change by accepting men as the brothers we truly are. Your actions are what shape the world. It's what makes men their God, their godliness. And this is what they should be moving forward into.
Maitreya will probably end up speaking so directly into our hearts, and so many people will immediately notice his words of truth that I'm convinced just the reaction from people alone might inspire them to believe Maitreya is a person of very high spiritual stature.